Thank you, Lee, for that beautiful, beautiful introduction. I'm Judy Sleed, that plays the thing, and today I have Kathy, who was so gracious and take time out from her busy schedule to come here from the Y. Excuse me. So how are you, Kathy?
Good, good. Thank you for asking me. It was nice of you.
I didn't mention it, but I've been looking at you. You look so pretty.
Oh,
and
thank you.
I like your clothes and your jewelry. It's a beautiful bracelet and the shoes and everything. Well, you look just lovely. Is this the way you dress when you go to work?
No. No. Not at all. I do a lot of things with the kids and teaching, so usually very comfortable, casual clothes.
Yes, and so what do you do at the Y, actually?
Oh, my daughter says a little of this and a little of that, is what she says. I really started out with the Y, teaching some dance classes and some fitness classes, then moved on to try to get their cultural arts department larger, and that's what I was doing. And recently I've just taken on the camp operational director as well. So a lot of things with the children, which is what I love.
Yes, I love that too. I love children. They are so spontaneous.
They're very funny, you know, when they're so literal. They're so loving.
Yes, and as Art Linkletter used to say, children say the darnest things.
And they do.
They do, yes.
Sometimes you find out a little too much about the household than you want to. But yeah, so it's fun, and we really built up our cultural arts department a lot. When I first started, I had one class, it was only 3 girls, 3 little preschoolers, and now we're up to about 75. So we've really grown.
That was my next question.
Yeah, 75. And when I came out here 2 years ago, I was asked to be the dance coach for the East Hampton High School. So I was coaching the dance team, which I love working with the young ladies. They're wonderful and beautiful. Laura Cisco is now my arts director for the camp. She was with me last year at the high school. She graduated.
Laura
and this year,
who?
Cisco. She's very well known at the East Hampton. She choreographed their tap 42nd Street. She's very talented, very talented young lady. So anyway, working with the high school girls, it was great, and I'm working with the young little ones, so I thought it would be so great to bring them together. So that's exactly what I did. And it was a great learning experience for the high school girls, as well as, you know, the little girls loved to be with the big girls. And watching, they performed, and the parents just watching the little ones.
Is this, you're talking about 42nd Street?
No, that was Laura Cisco. She choreographed 42nd Street for the high school production.
So what did you do with the
Well,
two groups?
my little girls that I teach at the Y, I wanted them to get involved with the high schoolers, and the high schoolers to get involved.
So you got them together?
So we got them together, and they did a little routine together, and it was just absolutely sweet, really sweet.
I managed to go and see every school when the children, you know, have a play to put on, and I'm just marveling at the talents and the enthusiasm and all the work that goes into it.
And it's the enthusiasm that the children have, you know, and I always keep telling parents, you know, it doesn't matter if they don't do the plie right, or, you know, they don't. I said, that's not the thing, is that they're enjoying it. I mean, they're on stage and they're smiling, they're having a great time, and they're building their confidence.
That's
and
true.
that's what's important, not how well they did the turn. Okay, if they're going to do this on Broadway, obviously that's important. But, you know, we're talking, you know, them just to really, you know, show confidence, they have accomplished something. You know, it doesn't matter how they do it, the fact that they got it. And that's what's really, really important. So the issue has to be on that.
So let's go back. Where are you from?
Well, I'm originally from New Jersey. So I grew up in New Jersey, in Newark. Actually, I was born, and we moved to Clifton. And then I lived in Arizona for 4 years, which I loved.
Oh, for 4 years.
Yeah, and then now out here, I live in Sayville, actually.
Sayville.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what prompted you to move, first of all, to Arizona?
Well, I had a job offer. I was, at that time in my career, I was a professional ballroom dancer. So I was offered a job I belonged with the Fred Astaire organization, so I was offered a job at the Fred Astaire Dance Studio in Arizona. So they were going to pay my way, and you know, I said at a young age, I said, "That's how can I give that up?"
That's a great adventure.
So yeah,
Yes.
so I worked with the Fred Astaire, and I did my ballroom, and then moved, you know, back here to be with my family in New Jersey. So
And from New Jersey to the Hamptons. Well, actually, you don't live at the
I live
Hamptons,
in
but
Sayville.
you got the job here.
Right.
So, but still, Sayville is still into Long Island. It's
Right.
far away from New Jersey.
Yeah, it is. But
Yes.
it was, you know, and it was so funny because, you know, I never thought I'd end up living in Long Island, but it's really a beautiful,
Oh, it is
area.
so beautiful here. Yes, I got here via, I would say, China. But I really like it here a lot. So what made you go into this dancing?
Well, I've been
profession?
dancing, goodness, ever since I can remember. You know, growing up, my background is Ukrainian. So,
Oh, is it?
yeah, so when you're growing up in the Ukrainian community, they always have Ukrainian dances. So I used to go with my parents all the time. So I used to do the waltz, I used to do the tango and the rumba with my father. And, you know, our friends, they all danced. So what else was I going to go into but dance?
Well.
And that's what I ended up, and I love it. And I've always done it. And I always did various different dancing. I studied jazz with Luigi in New York for a very long time. Studied ballet, ended up in ballroom dancing, which I loved. And then when I had children, I decided I wanted to, you know, I took some time off. And they were getting older, and they went to a dance studio. So that's how I ended up getting involved in it.
Well, that's lovely. I had somebody on my show. I have a good friend who's a ballroom dancing teacher out here with touch dancing. Do you know
in
that?
Sag Harbor, I believe, right?
Yeah,
I
well,
think.
sometimes in Sag Harbor and, well, the other places, at East Hampton also they teach. And sometimes in Hampton Bays or something. But, what? Oh, well.
Well, as I was
But-
teaching, what I'm saying is I was teaching dancing for children. So, and I taught ballroom, and now I'm doing my, you know, my cultural arts, and that's where it got, you know, long story short, I got from teaching the children to the high schoolers, and that's how we ended up, that's where I got here. But I did bring some footage of...
Oh, I'd love to see
Yeah,
it,
the high
yes.
school girls and also the my little girls dancing.
Oh,
And the
I
little
love-
boys, I have tappers, boys who tap. So, yeah, I think they
Hey,
have it all
that's
set up for us.
absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, obviously those are my girls from the high school. They're great. They really work hard. They do a lot of things with community service. And those are our little, they're 3, 4-year-olds. And, you know, they're trying to set them up, and they're just so cute. Look how adorable they are.
That's fantastic. I love it.
And the big girls, you know, the high school girls, you know, they understand, you know, that this is a real person. So they learn how to communicate with 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds, and that, you know, they are a big responsibility. Oh, no, it's my little boys. They're my tappers. They're 3, 4 years old. They're just adorable. So, and they love it. I do a class called Tap and Gym. And, you know, boys making noise is right up their alley. So they're tapping, they make their noises, and then we do obstacle courses, and we jump, and we do tumbles, and, you know, it keeps them, it keeps the active boys, you know, active, but yet, you know, we give some guidance as to what they need to do. They're cute.
I find that lately more and more little boys are going into the arts. Like years ago, it was hard to find little boys.
Well, I just think what really is, it's our culture. In all the other cultures, except for America, dancing is very, very highly regarded. Ballet dancers, any kind. Whereas we've kind of lost that here, I believe, in America. So it's nice to see boys dancing. It's important. I know, they cute or what?
Well, I remember that many years ago, I was doing some sort of a play where I wanted little boys to dance, and I called up this school that was in Baldwin, And I said, I'm looking for little boys to dance. And they said, so are we.
Yep, it's true. I mean, I was so surprised that I had, you know, and I think it's because it's only a boys' class that it became so popular. And they did tap in the gym, that's all it was. It was just boys. And so it was a little more acceptable, so to speak. So that's why I think it's, and it's great, because boys should know how to dance. You know, it's important for them to understand rhythm and movement.
And I think you did a wonderful job with them. I mean, you really have to have a special talent to be able to teach little children.
You know, it's just it's just really patience and then remembering that they are 3 years old.
Right.
And as long as you don't expect more than you expect from a 3-year-old,
yes,
and know that, it's great. It's fun to work with.
It is fun. So you said, so which school did you go to? Well, when you grew up in Sayville?
Oh, I grew up, actually
Jersey?
I grew up in Jersey. I went to elementary school to St. John's Ukrainian Catholic School. And then when I moved to Clifton, I went to Clifton High School. And then I went to Kane College.
Did you already take up dancing there? Or
yeah, I was actually dancing really since I was 5 years old. I took ballet and also Ukrainian folk dancing.
Would you believe
that?
Me too.
Oh, good. Well, we have a class at the YMCA that we actually teach ballet and Pilates.
No, when I was 5, I did ballet.
So you could still do it. You probably remember.
Yeah, sure. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Early education is important.
It's
it always
really
stays
important.
with you.
It does, and you know, it's just like riding a bike. You know, just learning how to focus that energy of movement as a child. It will stay with you as you go older. I know that when I used to teach ballroom dancing, and I used to teach, you know, couples and men and women, and they had such a hard time because they didn't do it when they was younger. And every one of them said to me, you know, I really wish I would have done this when I was younger.
I hear that a lot.
You know, well, some of the schools are great. Some of the schools are doing. I taught a ballroom class at Ross School for the kids, and we had a blast. I mean, it was a lot of fun. So it's important to keep that up.
So actually, you like to be a teacher, and you must be a good teacher.
Oh, thank you. I really do love teaching. You know, and it comes a point in time where you have to start. You know, I try to train other people now. You know, to teach as well, and if you love it, you'll be a good teacher.
Right.
I really believe it. You have to love what you do.
So you like working at the Y?
I really love it. I mean, the director, Juan Castro, is one of the best bosses, I have to say, that I've ever had. He really allows me to be creative and versatile in many ways. I brought the my cultural arts into the summer day camp. So now the children can actually continue arts during the summer. And we've made it very different. It's not just cultural arts. People think it's just, you know, musical theater. But it isn't. It's what you're doing here. It's radio. It's everything encompassed. So I try to give the children a little taste of everything. So we do a commercial for the radio. So they learn how to write a commercial. So they know how to interview it. They know that it has to be marketing. So I try to give them a little bit of everything. Then they go into the radio station and they actually record the commercial and they actually see it being edited. So what this is showing the children that it's not just, you know, the talent. There's also behind the scenes. There's a lot of things. There's editing. So it's opening up their avenue there. Last year we also came into LTV, which was really fun, and they did a talk show.
Oh,
and it was so much fun. They had one person working the camera, one person being the host, and one person being director, and they would constantly rotate, so everyone would get a little feel of what that other person did. So, which is exciting. The kids loved it.
Of course, we're talking with Kathy Fallon from the YMCA in East Hampton, right?
Right in
You're
East
from
Hampton.
East Hampton, and this is coming from LTV Studios, and we are in the Hamptons.
Right.
So that's very exciting. So what else do you feel that is needed to be done out here in the Hamptons as opposed to what goes on in the city?
Well, yeah, you know, it is definitely different here, and I think it's because, again, you know, there are people here who are living here full time, whereas it wasn't several years ago. It was more vacationers, more things. And of course, with any community that grows, your community that lives here for full-time residents will grow. And I think that that's something that needs to be, you know, addressed more, that we need to have more things for the children on a full-time basis, because it's new to this area. So, you know, having the Y is great for them, you know, having the need that they have to have camp. There are now parents who have to work in East Hampton. So what are they going to do with their children? They need a place for them to go. So, you know, having the Y here is a great start. There's still more programs that have to be placed in this area to accommodate these children and these families.
You mean more programs in the Y or in the schools?
You know, in schools, in the Ys, just in general, in this area. They have to, you know, I think people who have been here for so long have to now realize that East Hampton has moved into a different time, which is great because East Hampton has grown. It's a beautiful place to live, you know, but it's no longer not just the vacationing area.
Do you go to see performances out here?
You know, I haven't been to any. I know they have the Guildhall, and unfortunately I haven't had a chance to go yet because I'm always working when I'm out here. But I'm looking forward to it. I did hear, I think it's the Presbyterian Church, they have the Choral Society.
Oh, they have lots, yeah.
Oh, they're wonderful. Actually, one of the ladies who takes a tap class with this Liz, she actually sings in it. And I was amazed. You know, I was asked to go, and I went, you know, you're going, yeah, I'd like to go. And I was so pleasantly surprised on how beautiful they sounded. So that was probably the only performance I've seen out here.
Oh, you're missing a lot.
I'm missing a lot.
But of course, when you're working, you're actually seeing performance by the kids.
Yeah, you know, of course, the children, we're getting them ready. The camp last year, we did our version of Adventure to Peter Pan. So the kids from the camp, oh, it was so much fun. The kids had a blast. This year we're doing Circle of Life, which is our version of Lion King.
Oh.
So, and we do it our version because we kind of add songs that the kids can relate to.
Oh, that's great.
So we kind of add pop 40s, which, you know, they love it.
Oh, that's great. I mean, I used to do that, also take stories and just put some songs in a catchy tune.
Right, and they love it. Then they can relate to it a little bit more, becomes more of them. And, you know, unfortunately, we don't have that many boys that do arts camp, which I'm hoping to change. So, of course, things had to be rewritten for the right cast.
Or for your cast or updated,
right.
Whichever way. But it's, it's a lot of fun to do. And also there's, you haven't been to Bay Street either?
No, I haven't, though there are here is really nice productions that they have there.
Well, Guildhall also has very good ones, and also in Quogue, I've seen several of them, and Hamptons Theatre.
Now that I hear is a beautiful theater, and I haven't had a chance to go there, and I guess because I live out in Sayville, so I'm usually out in that end of.
Well, you're closer to it than I am.
Yeah, probably.
Yes,
but yeah, you know, we go to Broad Hollow, which is by my house.
Oh, there's another theater.
Yeah,
and
there's a lot
so
of
many new theaters popping up.
I know.
Yeah, there's so many unsung heroes out here.
Right. And you know, so many of these places have so many great classes for children, you know, to take.
Yes.
I know Gateway Theater, they have acting classes for children, which is nice. And I believe so does Bay Street out here.
And also Guildhall offers.
Oh, for children, that's nice.
Did you ever hear of Stages?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
That's a great group.
Yes, that is.
Yes, that was one of the first productions I have seen out here for children at Bay Street.
And that's
I
nice
mean,
for them.
the Stages, well, they have their
Yeah, there's one I think in
performance.
Hamptons. There's a couple of different ones, correct?
No, there's only one, but they perform at different places.
Right,
They don't
that's
have their
what it
own
was.
house. So they perform at Bay Street or one of the high schools. I don't know how, but that's how they do it. So, of course, the children, they grow up. I started to watch one of the young men who was like maybe 8 years old, and now he's he's all grown up, so he can't play all those roles anymore.
His roles will change.
Yes, and there was another young lady who was also performing there, and then she grew up, and then she did South Pacific, the female lead.
Yeah, nice.
And she was on my show also. So they do grow up. That's one of the things, when you work with little children, all of a sudden you'll see that they're not so little anymore.
I know, they grow up really, really quick.
Yes.
So you have to enjoy them while they're that little, you know, and
Right.
treasure, you know, what they are. But it's nice also to see them grow, and I know the years that I've taught, I remember teaching a kid who was 3 years old, and, you know, and now they're 16, still, you know, dancing, and you see them how they progress and, you know, how they grow, you know, both, you know, through their dancing and as a person.
Did you say you had a child?
I have 2 children.
2?
Yeah, I have a daughter who's 13. Her name is Natalka. And I have a son who's going to be 17 this month.
Wow.
Yeah. Time goes really quick for me.
They go to school in Sayville.
There they go to school in Sayville. Yeah.
So how do you find commuting?
Well, it depends. In the winter, it's really not. Actually, it's not that bad since they have the cones up. So, you know, sometimes I'll actually work at home because I have a lot of computer work, so that's fine. But today took me an hour and a half, and as long as it's not traffic and you're just driving, it really is nice. I have to say it's much better driving to East Hampton than it is driving to the city. It's a different kind of traffic. It's a little more relaxing to the East Hampton.
Is it?
Yeah, it's not as stressful. You know, when you're going to the city, you've got the LIE. It's a lot more stressful driving, traffic-wise. Yeah, East Hampton, you just kind of relax.
Do you have a place to stay here when you want to stay over?
No. I'll usually go home. And I'm used to the ride, so it's not
Oh yes,
that
when
bad.
you have a family, you want to go home to
Go
them.
home, yeah. Go home, feed them.
And do your children dance also?
Actually, my son and my daughter both started dancing, and my son did ballroom dancing for a very long time. And, you know, and as they get older, they get involved in different things. My daughter now, she is involved in singing. She loves to sing, so she still stays in creative, and she does track. And my son's very much into animals. So he was working at a pet store, and that's where he wants to pursue, I think.
The pets, that's great.
Yeah, he loves working with animals and reptiles and that kind of stuff.
I'm always amazed how many things the children do. They go to school till about 3 o'clock. First of all, they get up so early, like 5:30, 6 o'clock, and they have so many different activities. I don't know how they keep up.
I don't either. No, it really is tough, and you see that, and you know, a lot of times the kids are really, really stressful, and I'll tell the parents, you know, you got to let them, you know, relax, and they have to be a kid once in a while, so, you know, and they want to know, they love doing everything, but, you know, it's important to say, okay, there's only so much you can do.
Yes, it
You
is,
know?
because sometimes they just look so tired.
Yeah.
And I feel so bad for them. I said, how do you do all that?
But, you know, on the other end, it's always good to have them busy and doing something and being active, and that's also really important as well. You know, you can go the other end where they're not doing anything and they're just
Then they
coming
get
home
into
from school
trouble.
and, you know, and then sitting at the TV. And so it is also, you have both sides. It's hard to find that in between in our, you know, we're always so
There's
busy,
a
all
lot
of us.
more available today than when we were kids.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could be my daughter.
I don't know about that.
And, well, I remember I was busy with my kids, taking them here and there. They were also very busy, involved in a lot of other things. I mean, when I was a kid, there was just very few things.
Yeah.
And today, as I said, I'm just so amazed. So you think you're going to stay put at the Y for a while?
Yeah, I really do. I like it a lot. I have to, if I'm driving an hour and a half, I have to like it there.
So how long did you say you were working there?
I'm going on almost 2 years.
And was it through somebody you got the job, or was it?
No, actually, I had a friend of mine who had a dance studio in Southampton. So I was teaching for him in Southampton. And I said, oh, since I'm out here, let me see if there's any other couple classes I can teach here and there. And saw an ad for a dance teacher in East Hampton, and not realizing it was still a good, you know, schlep, so to speak. But didn't realize it. So when I came out here, yeah. But you know, I had such a great, there were such good positive vibes when I came into East Hampton. I met Rosie Orlando, who's the health enhancement director, and Juan Castro, the director, and I really felt good vibes there. So positive. So I took the job and ended up now there full time, which I love.
Well, we are very lucky to have you.
Thank you.
At the Y, you sound wonderful, enthusiastic, and if I had any children or grandchildren,
just send them over.
I would send them over.
We'll take good care of them.
I'm sure. Well, I like to go to the Y. As I told you before I signed up, all I have to do is just go.
Go.
But last year I was working there with the children, and it was wonderful.
Yeah, we have to get you, you know, come out again.
And read stories to them.
Yeah, read stories to them. We have actually a woman who's doing yoga story time.
Oh,
yeah.
That's really great. Well, I would like to thank you for coming, and all the crew at LTV and all my underwriters. And I say goodbye like this.
Okay, so I'll do that too.
Yes. This is my trademark. Okay. This is my sign-off. And you could see us not only out here at the East End, but further up the island, as they say. And Manhattan Cable is showing it once a week also. So if you ever see me, I'll give you an autograph. Not on my picture, because I don't carry my picture on me. But it's funny how sometimes